Chapter 228 has still a child. The sky was fiery red, and more than half of Silken City was illuminated. For a moment, the ground shook, and the deafening sound frightened children to tears. Songhai was not in the mood to appreciate the fire clouds and fireworks. His face was pale as he said, "If this F***king exploded on the ground, we would all be finished." "I won't be finished." Songshi looked at the fire clouds that filled the sky and sighed. An explosion does have a different kind of beauty indeed. It looks very satisfying. I can't appreciate it. It's better to admire a real beauty's charm and skills. Songhai took a deep breath. I need gentle comfort to relieve the pressure in my heart. What are you thinking about? There are still troubles that haven't been resolved. Songshi lowered his head and looked at a wall in the distance. Do you want to come out yourself, or do you want me to beat you into meat paste and bury you there? Senior, please spare me. A middle-aged man with a head full of cold sweat jumped out, in just passing by. I don't had any ill intentions towards you. Passing by. Then I'll kill you casually. Who asked you to walk here? Songshi raised his hand. Plop. Philian-haired middle-aged man was so frightened that he knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. Senior, please spare me. I was invited by Ma Daowei, whom you have killed, to help. He had secretly accepted the offerings of the Sun family to attack you. I have nothing to do with the Sun family. That's nonsense. What did he have to with us? Is there a need for him to provoke us? Songshi sneered. Which faction are you both from? The Sacred Fire Sect. The Sacred Fire Sect was a medium-sized sect from the demonic cults. They worked for the Sky Demon cult and liked to use fire attribute methods. They were most famous for their explosive talismans. He is a sect master, right? Songshi said meaningfully. Zishen was stunned for a moment before answering. He took an elder as his master. Take me to him. That elder is possibly a Foundation establishment superhuman or a late-stage cultivator. Are you sure you want to find him? Zishen was stunned. Second uncle, why don't we forget about it? The guys from the demonic cults are more ferocious and dangerous. When Songhai heard that it was a Foundation establishment cultivator, he was worried that he would attract an even more powerful character. Not as powerful as your second uncle. Songshi chuckled, and his expression became more domineering. We have to get rid of this matter so that they won't dare to provoke the Song family easily. Understood. Songhai did not object anymore. He could tell that his seventh brother was really confident, but he did not know where his confidence came from. After all, the enemy was at the extraordinary Foundation establishment realm. This was no ordinary person. Zishen led the way fearfully to a bamboo forest outside the city. The bamboos here were dry and yellow. Most of them were dead bamboos. The entire bamboo forest was dead silent. Senior, Master Yen is cultivating here. Has a senior elder of our Sacred Fire Sect. His fire elemental spells are quite powerful. He can be said to be a master in the Tao of Talismans. Zishen introduced. Songshi looked at this person in surprise. He looked rough, but he was a little meticulous. Senior, my name is Zishen. I like to be careful when I do things. No matter how you and Elder Yan talk, I don't want to be implicated. You can leave. This has nothing to do with you anymore. Songshi waved his hand. Thank you, Senior. Zishen felt as if he had been pardoned and quickly used the light body technique to slip away. You're just going to let him go. Songhai looked in the direction where Zishen had left. Maybe he also informed Master Yan at the same time. This kind of person only sides with the strong. He will be useful to you in the future. Songshi looked confident. Wait for me here. I'll come over after I deal with the problem. It won't be long. With that, Songshi disappeared. Songhai rubbed his eyes. So fast. Has this kid really reached the Foundation establishment realm? How ridiculous. In the bamboo forest. Those who trespass shall die. There were 4 words engraved on a small stone. The stone at the mark had melted. It was completely burned down by high temperatures. This is the dead bamboo forest. Songshi appeared on the rock. He thought of some things that happened when he first came into contact with the cultivation world. He pursed his lips and flew in leisurely. He still disguised a portion of his strength and only used the dragon elephant technique to walk towards Master Yan. Withered bamboo leaves floated down. The air on Song's path distorted, and a fire snake suddenly rose from the fiery red light. Song Shi's power transformed into a huge fire elephant that barged over, crushing the fire snake. There was a buzzing sound nearby. The array formation power was alarmed, and wisps of fire beams shot toward Song Shi. Song Shi's body swayed, and he actually dodged the attack. With a light tap of his finger, the array formation in front of him distorted violently and shattered with a bang. What? You actually broke my flame dragon array in an instant. In the array formation that exploded like fireworks, a red-bearded black-robed man rushed out in shock with an ugly expression. It's only a few little snakes, but you dare to call them dragons? Song Shi scoffed. The power on his body transformed into a giant elephant that rushed over without hesitation. Who are you? Why are you causing trouble for me? Venerable Master Yan frowned. He was forced by Song Shi's aura and hurriedly retreated to dodge. A large number of giant bamboo forest elephants stepped on the ground and burst into flames. A hole was blasted into the ground, and the destructive power was shocking. Master Yan landed 100 feet away in a sorry state. There were rings of defensive talismans on his body, and some of them had already shattered. He looked wary and said angrily, "You barged into my territory for no reason. Shouldn't you give me an explanation? Your disciple, Ma Daowei, provoked my Song family. I've already killed him. Do you want to avenge him?" Song Shi's hair fluttered and the golden energy transformed into the low cry of a giant elephant that shook the void, causing Master Yan's heart to involuntarily constrict. "Little Ma," Master Flame frowned, "has still a child. How did he provoke you? Was there a need to kill him?" Song Shi was deep in thought. "So you're going to avenge him? He's very talented. He could have inherited my mantle." Before Master Yan could finish speaking, he realized that the elephant's nose was expanding rapidly. In the blink of an eye, it turned into a fire dragon. This was a real dragon. It was more than 10 times larger than the fire snakes released by his array formation. Most importantly, it contained terrifying power. The pressure it emitted made him feel as if he was pressing down a mountain, and he could not move for a moment. "You're not a Foundation establishment cultivator." He was shocked. He widened his eyes and watched as the fire dragon instantly arrived in front of him and swallowed him. Roar. Amidst the dragon's roar, flame surge. The entire death bamboo forest turned into ashes and was flattened by a single move. In the boundless sea of fire, Song Shi retracted his strength and said, indifferently, "Since as a child, you should accompany him. Otherwise, how lonely would he be in the afterworld?" After killing this person, Song Shi collected his spoils of war and went outside in the blink of an eye. Song Hai was dumbfounded as he looked at the bamboo forest that had turned into a sea of fire. When he saw Song Shi return, he asked, "It's over so quickly. What else? Do you think I will be drinking and chatting with him inside?" Song Shi shrugged. "Let's go and see if there's anyone to avenge them. If there isn't, well, be safe." What if there is? Song Hai was worried, and just afraid that killing the young will offend the old. Killing one will attract a group of people. That's easy. We will just kill as many as we can. Song Shi's expression was cold. At most, we'll just destroy the entire sacred fire sect. Song Hai didn't know what to say. In the end, he could only raise his thumb. "You're really a ruthless one. I couldn't tell before."